The Witcher Season 3 has not gone well for Netflix. People have revolted over the departure from source material, and no one seems to be happy with the fact that this is Henry Cavill's last season as our beloved Witcher, and now Netflix is desperately trying to get people to watch this season and get hyped for the next by teasing how the recast will go. I have a few different things to show off, but before we get into the topic, if you enjoy the content that I create, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Make sure to check out the links in the description, follow me on social media to see when my content is posted, and of course, if you do really enjoy the videos and the live streams that I create, consider becoming a Dark Titan via Patreon or a supporter via YouTube memberships. So, starting with this Bounding into Comics article, The Witcher EP teases how show will handle Liam Hemsworth replacing Henry Cavill as Geralt of Rivia, and there's really no way they can do this that would make it feel natural. I had a feeling that they were gonna do some really cheesy recast maneuver, like, oh, there was magic flung at his face, and then when Yennefer fixed his face, it was a different one, like something like that. But no, it seems like they really are going off the rails and they're trying to almost pull a DC where there's different universes and each Geralt looks different. Is Geralt Batman now? It sounds like it. Yes, there are portals and different worlds in The Witcher, but this isn't supposed to be like a parallel sci-fi story, and they're really turning it into that. It says The Witcher executive producer Tomek Baginski recently teased how the Netflix series will handle Liam Hemsworth replacing Henry Cavill as Geralt of Rivia. I've also said from the very beginning the timing of this was very poor on the creative team side. They announced Liam Hemsworth was replacing Henry Cavill at the same time they were announcing Cavill was leaving the show. That was just one of the worst decisions they could have made. They should have given people a few months to really get used to it and adjust to this change, and they didn't, which I think they faced even more backlash than they would have if they didn't do that. But it says Cavill announced he was leaving the show after the third season finished filming and he would not return for the fourth season. He said, "My journey as Geralt of Rivia has been filled with both monsters and adventures, and alas, I will be laying down my medallion and my swords for season 4. This is so sad because he is the only reason why the show really even resembles the source material at this point. I mean, the series has gone off the rails. Even in season 1, it had gone off the rails a little bit, and they made the decisions for like the timelines to be different and then converge at the very end, which people weren't big fans of. But I still felt like it really resembled The Witcher, this great universe. But as season 2 and season 3 have gone on, they have really made a lot of changes, and we heard from Cavill's co-stars that he was like a Witcher Bible on set, that he was constantly carrying around the books and referencing the games and saying, oh, for the fans, we should add this line of dialogue or this scene that would really make people happy. And now that he's going to be gone, there's not going to be that kind of anchor on set anymore, and I think that season 4 is just going to be insanely bad. Now, Tomek, this EP, has gone on to speak with Radio Times, saying Lauren, the showrunner, and her team, and there are a few really good writers returning to the writer's room for season 4. I think they cobbled together a really nice opening, which is really true to the books. We have heard this so much, and I am so sick of hearing it because, again, it's really not the books that they're following. They loosely, follow the cobblestone path, but it's leading somewhere very different than the source material. He continued, "This is a very little thing that I will tease. People who know the books really deeply also know that this is not a typical fantasy book. It's not just one world, it's not just one story happening in those books, in those stories. It's a huge, huge world which is very, very complex." And I will stop there. And yes, this is true. I mean, it is a very complex story by the end, but at the same time, It's not some like multiversal story where we've got 10 Geralts coming together, forming the Witcher Avengers, slaying the monsters. Like, this isn't what the books are, and this is like what they're turning it into. He also would provide more details, saying we have to be quite careful because how Liam will get incorporated into season 4. That's a huge spoiler, and we really don't want to spoil it. We don't want to destroy the surprise. I think it's done really nicely and very, very close to some deeper ideas in the books which were introduced in book 5 at the very end of the saga. Again, we probably don't have time to go into philosophically the core ideas behind the saga and define the Witcher world, but one of the big topics in the Witcher world is that every story can be told from many, many POVs. Yes, they can be told from many POVs, but again, that doesn't mean that you have 10 versions of the same character who are going to either have to come together and meet each other. And Lauren even tried to claim that they were going to have this big outing for Henry Cavill and they were going to have this really emotional way that they were going to pass the torch. There's no way to do that if Liam Hemsworth is supposed to be the same character. Now, this EP does mention the end of book 5 and that it's going to incorporate some of the deeper ideas, and we don't know exactly what he's referring to with Lady of the Lake, but I think I know, what he's really talking about. So basically, spoiler alert for the books, at the end of the book, Ciri, Yennefer, and Triss arrive in Rivia shortly after rioting starts, and they eventually find Geralt on the verge of death. Yennefer attempts to use all of her magic strength to revive him, then passes out beside the Witcher. I think they are going to do this thing where Yennefer is going to have this big sacrifice. She's going to revive Geralt, but when they revive him, he's someone slightly different, which really doesn't make sense, but I feel like that is what they're referring to. We obviously don't know, but I think they are really going to start, going completely off the rails with the story. But, Tomic's fellow producer Steve also shared, I think big picture wise, it's a franchise and we can trust that the IP and the franchise is the strength. People love The Witcher. The Witcher is your strength, but you only really have yourselves to blame with the fact that you completely disregarded what made The Witcher special and unique and so beloved, and it's like they don't care, but clearly fans of The Witcher are just extremely disappointed with the direction they've decided to go in. I mean, look at season 3's ratings. They're not good. Critic scores, there's only 39 reviews. It's at an 85%. I don't really trust the critics, but audience scores paint a very different picture. It is sitting with over 1,000 ratings at a measly 24%. And you can't get much lower than that, right? Because there are people who are leaving positive reviews saying, the only reason I watch this is because of Henry Cavill. I won't be watching season 4, and I do think they are going to see drastic number drops going from 3 to 4. I do think that a lot of people are gonna basically give Netflix the middle finger. I know that I am really on the fence about it right now. I might watch it just so that I can talk about it, online in videos, but at the same time, I really have no interest in season 4. If I wasn't watching season 3 just to support Cavill, there's no way I would have even watched season 3 with the direction they've taken it in. It's just a disappointing series all around. Now, clearly, other people agree, but we don't still have any true ideas on what they're gonna do going into season 4 with this major recast. But to me, it does really sound like they are trying to pull a DC and having, these different universes where each Geralt looks different, and maybe when Yen tries to revive him, he's like a different version of Geralt. We have no idea. None of it is canon, but at this point, they've killed The Witcher no matter what they do. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this and of course found it important and informative, please make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.